Getting a good start to retirement can significantly improve the likelihood of a successful retirement plan. What are the 3 mistakes you need to avoid in the first year of retirement? Got that and more coming up. My name's Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. What are the big mistakes you need to avoid right at the beginning of retirement? Because you know that what happens right at the beginning of retirement is going to have an outsized impact on how your retirement is going to go, right? Whether it's going to be off to a great start and be successful, or whether it's going to be off to a bumpy start and there's going to be a lot of financial stress. You've likely heard of sequence of return risk. This is where the market performance in the first 3 to 5 years of your retirement has an outsized impact on how long your money is going to last. Say, for example, in the first year of retirement, your investments perform negative 10%. They go down 10%. The next year of retirement, same thing, negative 10%. The third year of retirement, 0%, right? The market goes up, goes down, but your investments are flat, right? And then the fourth year of retirement, your investments return 20%. Over those 4 years, that's a 0% average return. Not ideal, right? Not ideal, but that's okay. Well, how's your portfolio looking? After those 4 years, your portfolio is down significantly because after 2 consecutive years of 10% decline, you need more than a 20% advance or growth to make up for those losses. So right there, even though a 0% average return, your portfolio isn't back where it should be. But when you add on top of that, the withdrawals that you're making in the early part of retirement, especially those first few years, your portfolio is significantly underwater. And this demonstrates how crucial those first few years of retirement are. Obviously, how the market performs is not in your control, not in anyone's control. What are the things that are in your control that can influence that outcome? And right at the beginning of retirement, what are those 3 mistakes that you can avoid that will help your retirement be off to a successful start? Well, the first one plays right into that big risk, that sequence of return risk, and that is keeping the same investment allocation that you had during your career. The journey up the mountain is going to be different than the journey down the mountain. And when you retire, that journey down the mountain, your allocation, your approach to your investment mix needs to shift a little bit. On the way up the mountain during your career, volatility works to your advantage. You want to be dollar cost averaging. You want to be investing every single paycheck or every single month a certain dollar amount. And when prices are low, that contribution, you're buying more shares at those lower prices and actually works, the math works in your favor. The opposite is true on the way down. As if you're withdrawing dollars just from a diversified portfolio, selling a little bit every single month to get your $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month, whatever it is, your fixed amount every single month, you're selling more shares when prices are down. It's the reverse dollar cost averaging. It's the exact opposite of what you want to do. So instead of sticking to the same allocation and the same investment approach that you had during your career, in retirement, you've got to shift to something that is a buckets of money approach. We call it a personal pension plan, something that calibrates your investment strategy for the timeline at which you're going to use those dollars. The first 2 to 3 years of your retirement withdrawals should be in low risk investments, money markets, CDs, cash, like really low risk, but paying some sort of interest, hopefully a decent interest rate. The next 5 to 7 years should be in medium risk investments, things like hedging or things like that has more upside potential, but still not a full, not going to have the full magnitude of a downside should we see a bear market. And then all the other dollars after those first, 2 buckets are full, all the other dollars are there invested for your long term. If you stratify your investments like that, which is different than the approach you're going to take during your career, you can help manage this sequence of return risk and that reverse dollar cost averaging. Second mistake to avoid in the first year of retirement is too many large one-time purchases. You know that in retirement, your lifestyle is going to go through 3 different stages: the go-go years of retirement, the slow-go years, and then the no-go years, where going to Walmart is a big week, right? But that's not how you want to start retirement. When you're young, when you're healthy, when you've got a lot on your to-do list, you want to go out and have a lot of activities and do a lot of things. Well, the issue is making sure that you space those out. You don't want to buy the new car and do the home improvement or maybe move on top of the enormous family vacation. Most people, that's too much to digest financially, or the opposite of digest, too much to withdraw financially from your portfolio all in a short period of time. Instead, pacing yourself out for those big lump sum expenses and spreading those out over the first few years of retirement, as opposed to all, I've seen it not just in the first year, but even in the first 6 months. You want to pace yourself with those large lump sum one-time expenses, not cramming them all in right at the beginning of the retirement, even though you're super excited and ready to enjoy those golden years. That can put too much stress on your portfolio, especially as you're trying to manage the sequence of return risk, but also because of this third mistake. The third mistake that you need to avoid in retirement, that first year of retirement, is no tax planning. That is a significant mistake. All throughout your career, you need tax planning to look at the different tax shelters available to you and the different tax strategies available to you to pay the least amount of tax over your lifetime, saving up into the right account and so on, so that you manage your tax bill and can significantly reduce the taxes that you'll pay out there in the future. Well, once you get into retirement, that's the future. And it's the exact opposite. You've got to look at, well, how much money am I withdrawing from my account, and which account would it make sense to pull from based on the taxation? Does it make sense in the early part of retirement to withdraw from those pre-tax accounts and having those withdrawals be taxable? Instead, do you have some non-tax shelter dollars, some dollars in an individual account, a trust account, that you should be withdrawing first and maybe paying 0% capital gains? Should you draw those dollars out and do a Roth conversion? Looking at your tax strategies early in retirement, as opposed to not being mindful of the tax impact as you begin withdrawing dollars in those early stages of retirement, that can mean that you've got more dollars slipping through your fingers going to Uncle Sam than staying in your portfolio or helping you with those retirement, with that early stage retirement spending. So those are 3 of the major financial mistakes that you need to avoid right at the beginning, right in that early stage, that first year of retirement. Not sticking with the same investment strategy that you had throughout your career, avoiding having too many lump sum one-time expenses all right at the beginning of retirement, and not having a tax plan as you start withdrawing dollars and turning on Social Security. So work with your certified financial planner on that. There's 6 areas to everyone's financial life, yours included, mine included, everyone's financial life. There's 6 areas, and retirement planning is one of them. But as explained here in these mistakes, you've got to consider your tax picture. You've got to consider your present financial position, your cash flow. There's 6 different areas of your financial life. All of those need to be in sync to have a successful retirement plan. So work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or send us an email, info@korhorn.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.